I walked into a leadership meeting once. Everyone was smiling, everyone was agreeing, and nothing real was being said. Decisions were getting made, but no one looked confident. There was no tension, no pushback, just smooth conversation. And in that moment, I knew something most people would miss. This company wasn't aligned, it was performing. And that's a very dangerous place to be. Because when a company starts performing instead of thinking, you don't see the problem right away. You feel it first. And most leaders ignore that feeling. Welcome to the Kathie Owen Perspective podcast. This is where we talk about what's really happening inside companies, the things you won't see on a spreadsheet, but the things that quietly shape decisions, culture, and outcomes. My name is Kathie Owen. I'm a private consultant, and I specialize in identifying human patterns under pressure, especially inside founder-led companies, private equity environments, and organizations going through high-stakes transitions. I don't come in to fix people. I observe systems. I watch how pressure moves through a company, how decisions get made, and how people behave when it actually matters. Because that's where the truth is. And today we're going deeper into something almost every leader feels, but very few can explain. That moment where something feels off, but you can't prove it. If you've ever had that thought, something's not right here, you're not guessing, you're noticing. Because what you're picking up on is a pattern. And under pressure, people do something very predictable. They adapt, they protect themselves, they find workarounds, they create systems inside your system. And those hidden systems quietly start shaping your business. Let me walk you through the 10 patterns I see over and over again. Number 1, power moves outside the organizational chart. You think decisions flow through leadership, but inside the business, people know who really has the influence. They go around the structure to get things done. That tells you something immediately. Trust in leadership is already broken. People have just adapted to it. Number 2, people stop thinking and start performing. Meetings sound good. Everyone agrees, but nothing real moves forward because people are no longer thinking out loud. They are performing. And once that happens, truth disappears from the room. Number 3, micromanagement is a signal. Micromanagement is not the root problem. It is the signal, and it tells you the system doesn't feel safe without control. So leaders grip tighter, and eventually they become the bottleneck. Number 4, misaligned rewards. I saw a company roll out a reward system once. It looked great on paper, but people stopped focusing on their real work. They chased the reward instead. They gamed the system, and performance drifted because the system was rewarding the wrong behavior, and people followed it perfectly. Number 5, false communication alignment. This one is subtle, and it looks like alignment. Everyone nods and everyone agrees, but it's not real. It's performed alignment. And you don't see the problem until execution falls apart later. Number 6, leadership reality gap. Leaders believe things are fine, but if you go to the floor, if you listen, you'll hear a completely different story. I've seen this so many times. The issue is not care, it is access. Truth doesn't move upward in a system that doesn't feel safe. Number 7, you've probably felt this one yourself. Burnout disguised as performance. Results look strong, but the people delivering them are exhausted. You don't see it in reports. You feel it in tone, in energy, in patience. And when those people leave, it feels sudden, but it was not. Number 8, loyalty over logic. Some people stay protected, not because they're the best fit, but because they've been there a long time. Or they're really close to leadership. And slowly, decisions stop being about what's right. They become about what's comfortable. Number 9, silence replaces truth. There's no pushback, no disagreement, no hard conversations, and leaders mistake that for alignment. But it's not alignment, it's withdrawal. People have stopped telling the truth. And number 10 is invisible behavioral signals. This is where it all starts. The most important signals in your company are invisible. Tone shift, eye contact, hesitation, energy in the room. You don't see this in a report, but it tells you everything. I actually did a video on your face is breaking trust. I will link to that in the show notes and description below. So there's one place inside companies where truth still moves freely, and almost no one uses it. Not in meetings, not in reports, in human conversations. That is wellness environments, coaching conversations, moments where people are not performing. That's where people talk about their stress, their life, and almost every time it leads back to work. That's one of the clearest intelligence signals inside a company, and most leaders ignore it. By the way, that is corporate wellness. This matters because by the time these patterns show up in your numbers, you're not diagnosing anymore. You're dealing with damage. If something felt familiar in this episode, it's already happening. You know, that feeling you can't quite explain, that's awareness. And the leaders who learn how to trust that, they see what others miss. And they protect their companies before things start to break. If you want to go deeper into this, I wrote a full article breaking down all 10 patterns in detail. You'll find that linked in the show notes, along with bonus resources. And if this episode gave you clarity, share it with someone who needs to hear it, because most leaders are feeling this. They just don't have language for it yet. This is the work I do. I help leaders see what's happening inside their companies before it shows up in their numbers, especially during high-pressure moments, growth, transition, and change. And if you want to go deeper, my book, Human Patterns Under Pressure, is linked in the show notes and description as well. All right, thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next episode of the Kathie Owen Perspective podcast.